that was curious to me that
Yeah,
there
me too.
are pushing for a grant for the village for water and sewer. That was a little bit how you figure. I don't know how to figure that one.
Maybe it was the
I'd like to call
county.
this Finance Committee meeting to order. It is 6 o'clock on June 9th. Jenny, roll call.
Tammy,
Here.
Ben,
Here,
Do we have any citizens?
I have no messages from anyone.
Minutes from last meeting. Anybody have any corrections or changes?
motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Financial reports, Jenny.
okay. It was a very typical month. These reports are for the month of May, so they did bump up the income tax deadline into May, so we did see some extra income tax money coming in. Fund status is looking good, no adjustments to the cash summary. Our revenues were 116,260, and I don't recall anything out of the ordinary. It was mostly a typical month. Payments were kind of standard too. We don't have the credit card invoices yet, but the receipts that I have in my book downstairs are normal, just normal expenses. Revenue status, we should be at 42%. We're under that. We're at about 35%. So hopefully we'll make that up, but a lot of that is the license tax again.
Any idea when we should see that cut loose?
I think they said in July, the restrictions come off. So hopefully,
July, August, okay.
yeah, and it wasn't forgiven, it was just delayed. So hopefully we'll play catch up. I said that all last year too, and it didn't happen. Appropriation status, 39%. That's really good to be under. And the bank reconciliation just had that $7,200 voided check adjustment. And that's it. Anybody have any questions on that?
I have one question. I saw on the receipt listing, like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 for cemetery fees. Is that normal?
We've been busy.
And then on there was the Portage County Municipal Court for $502. Is that a refund for something?
No, people that get DUIs, speeding tickets, all that stuff, they pay that through the court, and every month we get a check. Parking tickets are separate.
Okay.
But anything that goes to court, we get paid that way.
All right, and then I had a question about on the payment listing. Okay, Meyer Design, not me, for $6,720.
Payment. I don't remember that one.
It was on 5/20. It's just a large ticket. I didn't know what that was for.
Oh, I think that has something to do with the playground. 6720. Yeah,
So
I didn't bring the payment book with me, but I will let you know for sure before council.
Okay.
But I'm thinking that's what it was.
That was the only one I saw that was really unusual.
I'll be that project they're doing down there.
Hmm.
All right, any other questions?
Nope. Motion to move the financial report to council.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Review of the bill of resolutions.
I got no questions. You make a bill, you pay it.
Right, I have no questions either.
Motion moves and bills and resolution to council.
Second, all in favor? Aye. All right, review of legislation. Ordinance 2021-24, an ordinance amending section 331 of 45 of the codified ordinances of the Village of Mantua relating to distracted driving and declaring an emergency. This is a third reading. Any comments?
I think that's a little restrictive. They're basically saying in there that you can't have a phone in your hand. What if it's sitting up down the dash and you're riding along and you reach up there and take it, put it down on the seat? It's a little restrictive to me.
I read it as it couldn't be initiating or sending a phone call. If you're just moving it from one place to the other, I didn't see that it was.
Well, that depends on the officer that sees it. Some people are a little rowdy. Anyway, I've got not really a big problem other than I thought it was real restrictive.
All right, ordinance 2021-25, an ordinance approving and adopting a permanent budget for 2022 for the Village of Manaway after publication and public budget hearing pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code 570530. This is the third reading.
That's gonna be a little meeting before council.
Yep.
Tuesday, what time?
6:15.
6:15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we usually don't have much to say. I made the amendments that council wanted to do last month, and other than that, we should be set.
God, we've been through this thing about 5 or 6 times already.
Yeah.
All right, how about ordinance 2021-26, an ordinance amending 12103, Article 12, Section 1A of the Village of Manaway Codified Ordinances concerning the Service Committee. Second reading.
I do have a bit of a problem with this one.
Yeah.
If I remember this correctly, they're gonna fine people or charge people. What the finance and property belongs to the council, not the service committee. So I got a problem with that one.
The only thing this is about is to remove water and sewer from their duties. It has nothing to do with money.
If it's
just
got
about-
nothing to do with money, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
But
just,
they shouldn't be allowed to fine people or charge people money because that belongs to council.
It's whereas pursuant to ordinance numbers 2019-45 and 2020-54, the ownership, operation, and maintenance of the Village of Manaway sanitary and sewer utilities has been assumed by Portage County.
Well, and why are we filing for a grant?
it's just taking out water and sewer from the duties of the service committee. That's all that one is about. It's just housekeeping, to keep the codified clean.
That's fine.
And I think that grant we did before we transferred it over, and then then Portage County was doing it. We initiated it in December.
Yeah, maybe the work is gonna happen in Manaway, but it's Portage County's grant.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be kind of disappointed in it because I was against that whole thing all the way through. But let's go.
All
Keep
right,
up.
perfect. Ordinance 2021-27 amended. An ordinance providing for the submission to the electors of the Village of Manaway at the general election on November 2nd, 2021, a proposed tax ordinance amending section 173.012 of the Village of Manaway Codified Ordinances, purposes of tax rate, so as to increase the rate of taxation on income from 1.5% to 2%. The additional 0.5% to be used only for law enforcement and public safety purposes.
I'd say that's very clear now.
Yeah.
That's kind of clear, but you know, this is the second time we've done this. And like I told the chief, it's going to depend on how the economy is going. You know, if people have a hard time, it won't pass. It didn't pass the last time we tried it. But anyway, let's go. Move on.
You good? Okay, resolution 2021-28, a resolution requesting and authorizing the Portage County Board of Elections to place upon the Village of Manaway ballot at the general election of November 2nd, 2021, the question of whether ordinance 2021-27, increasing the Village of Manaway income tax to 2% shall be approved in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, section 41804. We're good?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm fine.
We'll move on. Okay, ordinance 2021-30, an ordinance amending section 157.02 of the Village of Manaway Codified Ordinance concerning personal information records kept by the Village of Manaway.
I didn't have any. Someone asked for some information, but I haven't received any.
No, this
email.
is for the service department stuff. That's all those
Just more
records,
cleanup.
more cleanup records.
All right,
That one. Can I get a motion to move this to council?
so moved.
Second.
Ah,
Aye. All right. Okay, discussions.
The only reason why I wanted to add that to the agenda tonight is because I think without the taxes and water and sewer and stuff, my work is winding down. And I think probably by the end of the year at the latest, I'll not be able to keep busy 40 hours a week. Like right now, there's still filing to do. We're going to be moving offices. But I think we need to start talking about the position a little bit so that when the time does come, we don't have to have 10 special meetings. Like we can have an idea, is this going to be maybe a 30-hour-a-week job for somebody? What kind of pay scale? So what I want to do is look at the Ohio Municipal League. They have a salary survey that comes out every year, and you can break down just fiscal officers or,
I'll give you a copy of it from the codified so you can look at it.
and you can get an idea of what villages that are comparable in size, if they have a police department or not, you can kind of get an idea of what the rate is, what they're paying, and if it's something we can pay, or maybe we pay less, maybe more, but we should start looking at it.
Well, and I think what we need from you, what council needs from you is a task list. What are your tasks?
Okay.
So that we can go, okay, what is this? Because we just, it's
Yeah,
kind of what we see what you bring to us. We don't see the day to day.
yeah,
So I think having a list also, so that as we amend chapter 135 and make a job description,
hmm
we know what's in there and what doesn't need, because we'll need to amend this to take out water and,
probably
and
would
it lists
eliminate
tax
the
and-
chapter,
well, it lists
because
tax
it would
and dairy
become an
free.
employee then.
Yeah, but you might want to, I think you probably want to have duties and stuff in there.
Well, and you're assuming we're making an employee. We may decide to make it still elected official.
Yeah, that would be the other option. You could leave it as an elected position, have somebody finish the term and then have to run again, but they would have to finish the term at the same,
Yeah, once the term, it would be the
Right,
same
Right,
salary.
Yeah.
but that's
I,
an option,
it would be the same salary, but
Right.
they wouldn't have the benefits if it's only, 30 hours a week.
well, two things to me about it is I was never sure, because I've been told that you got to have 40 hours to get hospitalization. I'm not sure that that's true. I wouldn't believe that until I talked to the insurance agent personally, which I may do. But the other thing about it is if I was mayor, I wouldn't want a fiscal officer, because some sharp prosecutor, if the person did something wrong, could drag you in for lack of supervision, and you might get stuck right in on a trial. And to supervise fund accounting, it would take you 2 or 3 hours a day, almost every day, to keep up with it. It's a lot. It's not like cost accounting, because I got a 2-year degree in cost accounting, and believe me, it's totally different. Fund accounting is just really different. And I wouldn't want to be responsible for someone getting caught, even if it was a mistake or an error. And some prosecutor dragged me in there with it when I didn't do anything. I didn't have anything to do with it because I didn't supervise properly. I mean, it's just a thought. To me, it's my personal thought. That's all.
I understand you're worried about the liability.
Yeah, I would be if I was the mayor and I had a physical officer. You better be, because some prosecutor might want to make a name for themselves and drag you in right with it. But anyway,
Well,
and
we'll
the
have to,
hospitalization kind of bothers me too.
Well, if it's a part-time job, you're not getting hospitalization. But if we can get a part-time job of somebody who has got a part-time job here and here and here doing physical, doing accounting for other places, we could get a deal.
Maybe. I would have to personally talk to the insurance agent. I'm not sure that business about hospitalization is quite right, that you got to have 40 hours.
Here's what we do. We have a policy that if you work 40 hours, you get it at the employee rate. If you work less than 30 hours, but more, I think it's more than 30, but up to 39, you can buy into it at full cost. So you can still be in it. We are required to offer it, but the cost sharing is not available to part-time employees.
Well, that's a different explanation I've been hearing for 3 or 4 years.
But that's, the
I'll
thing,
listen to that and think about it, but,
you would have to define it as a part-time or full-time, and like in January, it's full-time. But you can't say, I'll pay for insurance in December, but in January it's free, because I'm working. Michelle said it has to be one or the other.
Right.
And
Right, so so if we have a task list of yours to, what your duties are right now, and then off to the side, what is going away? Do you know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
okay, once the water's done, you're done with that, right? And
And it
And
could be
is-
that somebody, it would take them 40 hours. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, but somebody new might take a little bit
it
longer.
would take a lot longer.
I mean, Hiram has a full-time fiscal officer with a full-time assistant, and she doesn't have taxes or water and sewer. So,
I remember when you first came on, how much you spent, 60 hours or more a week,
yeah,
and I did too,
you came in every day.
every day, for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And what was the latest name from Hiram that came?
Sue,
Sue. Well, no, the other one before Sue, Kim, Kay,
Ann.
Ann, she helped you a lot when you first came on.
Okay.
Kay, yeah, Kay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came here every day for like almost 2 years. They asked me after work. And I wrote the response to the end of the audit.
Yep.
Anyway, she worked her butt off when she first came here. Of course, you got to get into the books and understand it, and see what happens, what's happening. It's a tremendous amount of work when you first come in. I mean, a lot. You just have to go through the books so you can understand what's going on and what's happening. If you don't, you're stupid. But anyway, moving on.
all right, so I gave you the ordinance so you can look through that too,
I
so you get
will,
a copy
I
of it.
will, I'll take this home.
Because
I'll
we
read everything.
want to change things, so I thought, I'll make a copy just so we have that.
I know
Because it
what,
still has water
I
in it.
actually know what she does. Actually, I watched it over the years, especially when she first started.
But Ben, there's so many of us new,
I know, I know.
and I think having that helpful.
It would help you. It would help. Anywho, that's my 2 cents for what it's worth. Maybe only a penny, really.
All right, do we have any new or other business?
I don't.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. I think we can adjourn this meeting at 6:18.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye.
Ah,
All right.
you guys have a good evening.
You too.
I'm gonna go get Din.
I know, we usually eat early, but today we didn't, so I gotta go home and cook.
Come back.
Look at that, Michelle.
You did a good job, thank you.
I was like, I told my husband, I said, it's just me and Ben, we'll get this going good.
Sure. I didn't mean to be so mouthy. I usually am not.
Well, it's only 6:18, you're good.
All right.
It would have been embarrassing had we done it at 6:09, so that's fine.
You're right, it does look like it's gonna.